Hi, welcome to Mirror of Patience. Today we're going to be talking about racism. Racism not only hurts our relationship with ourselves, but also hurts our relationship with our brothers and sisters, and ultimately our relationship with God. I've been attentive to some of the temptations or thoughts that have been coming up for me and also for others during this time, such as the temptation to think that racism is such a big problem that nothing I do can be of much help. This could lead to the feeling of helplessness, which could lead to the action of maybe trying to completely avoid media or any conversations related to race or racism. Another temptation could be of this thought that I care and I am not a racist, which could lead to the feeling of fearfulness of being judged by others and possible confusion of what to do during this time. And it could lead to the action of maybe posting things or making remarks without really critically thinking if those actions will create more equality and create more unity in the body of Christ. Another temptation could be to think that I am so privileged, which could lead to this feeling of shamefulness or irritation or anger towards oneself or those of the same skin color as ourselves. And it could lead to the action of just shutting down or even being reactive towards those who don't have the same perceptions on race or racism as we do. These temptations and many other temptations could come up for any well-intentioned person who does desire equality and justice in the body of Christ. There's a doctor by the name of Aaron Beck. He basically said that we could all be in one situation, such as a car accident, and could have very different thoughts about that situation. And those thoughts impact our feelings and impact our actions. I myself have been just kind of trying to figure out how to really be of support to my brothers and sisters during this time. And there's a book that I've been reading called Discernment of the Spirits by Father Timothy Gallagher. This book has nothing to do with racism, but there were certain steps in that book that helped me to kind of find a starting point in what I can do during this time. And hopefully it's helpful to you as well. So first step is being aware of our own perceptions, our own temptations, our own feelings that come up when we have conversations about race or when we tune into media. Another is understanding where our perceptions come from. It could come from our own upbringing, our own experiences, or the experiences of our family and friends. It could come up from maybe growing up in a community that had a lot of violence as opposed to growing up in a community that had little to no community violence. It could also be shaped by maybe living in, for example, in New York, in the city of New York City, as opposed to living in a small town in Arizona. There are many more things that shape our perceptions, and just understanding that is important. Lastly, it's important to act. One of the things I ask myself is, are my actions going to lead to more equality and more unity in the body of Christ? So an example of action could be calling up a friend and letting that friend know that I've been thinking of you and how are you being impacted by all of this, and just listening to their experiences. That recognition and that recognition and that validation in itself by another can lead to much healing between individuals, but also between communities. I genuinely believe that any act done out of love, out of humility, out of charity can lead to much good fruits, can produce much good fruits during this time. So I leave you with this Bible quote. which is from the letter of first letter of John, chapter 4, verse 19 and 20. We love because he, God, first loved us. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. Take care.